Greetings and welcome back to Gettysburg once again. Now, where we left off, it was still early morning and sunrise, and we were marching towards the town. This turn, General Pender will arrive with the lead elements of his division. So, let us see if any Federal cavalry show up. So, while I will also look to plan which roads I'm going to use. So, for example, let's plan the route of march for General Early. Now, General Early has got two real roads he can march down. He can come straight down the Harrisburg Road, which will eventually lead to Blotcher's Knoll and the Almshouse. Let me shut that up for a second so I can actually... As much as I love it, it sometimes can get in the way of my thoughts. So, in this case, I could either march him further along and get onto, say, the Carlisle Road. So basically march this way, follow here, and then come to this crossroad and then march south down the Carlisle Road, which will eventually lead to here. Or I could have him come down the Harrisburg Road, as he does historically. Harrisburg is probably going to be quicker, and it will dislodge any potential Federal positions along here. So yeah, he's probably going to come down the Harrisburg Road. As for roads I might actually have advance. He will come this way. Now, if he comes down the historical road he can come to either side here because of the way the road split. Matter of fact, that's the only real way he can come without going onto the Carlisle Road and marching that way. But I'm partial to him coming down the same historical road he does. I'm partial to him coming down the Bendersville Road as he does historically, because it doesn't really matter. He can go on this side of Oak Ridge or this side of Oak Ridge, and therefore it doesn't really matter. Now, as for Pender, he will have two options: charge down the pike like everyone else, or break off and go down a different road, maybe to end up somewhere somewhere else. But again, the Chambersburg pike is going to be the quickest. So for now, we'll just see. Without further ado, however, let's get Archer's Brigade zooming down the road, the Chambersburg. It'll be maybe 6 o'clock by the time I reach here. around Marsh Creek. Which gives me plenty of time to do some stuff with Pettigrew and his absolutely humongous brigade. It is absolutely humongous brigade. I mean, where is Pettigrew? Pettigrew. Yeah, 2,825 is bigger than Brockenbauer and Archer put together. When it comes to brigade size, it's one of the. It's got the biggest regiment in the entire army, with the 26th North Carolina. Huge bastard of a regiment. So that's why, because his brigade is so large, it's why I put him in the march order ahead of, say, Brockenbauer, even though Brockenbauer was, quote, closer to marching off. I want the mass that is Pettigrew's brigades. Let's get these guns marched. They're coming along nicely. Davis and his brigade will follow quickly after. And then the 22nd Virginia Battalion, the 55th Virginia, and then the Purcell Virginia Battery, and just bring all the guns afterwards. And then the other half of Brockenbauer's brigade will march after them. And then you have the divisional supply train. Now, General Pender's arrival. I will actually also mount up General A.P. Hill at this point and get him not necessarily zooming, but yeah, actually we'll get him zooming down the pike as well. Now, General Pender with Perrin's brigade in the lead. His particular South Carolinians, they should do nicely. And then we'll have General Lane naturally following with his Tar Heels. Now, this is where I've got to make the choice on which road to go. If I come down here, I would have to turn here, come down all the way down here. It's going to and go to the shoe shop, which will take me eventually to Black Horse Tavern. But that's going to take hours upon hours upon hours, I think. It's going to easily take me maybe 3 hours of marching. I don't think it's worth it. I might, however, break him off, say, here, and have him come down this road, and then perhaps back upwards, or have him come down this road. I could then break off here and then come down this way towards Black Horse Tavern. It would do two big things, the biggest of which is, while it's still a detour, it's not going to be nearly as much of a detour because I'm going to be marching down the Chambersburg Pike, so I'm going to have some elements of speed. But I think that's perfectly fine. So, Next to, again, they don't fix until 10. Next to arrive will be General Thomas and General Scales. So beyond Thomas and Scales, nothing will arrive, or so yeah, beyond after 6:40, which is when McIntosh's artillery battalion arrives, nothing arrives for 5 hours and 20 minutes, being General Lee, as General Lee doesn't arrive until 12 o'clock noon. Longstreet arrives an hour after that. General Anderson arrives 2 p.m. with his division, pretty much. The last of his division basically arrives at 3 p.m. In this case, it's the Florida Brigade. A.G. Jenkins and the cavalry doesn't arrive until 4 p.m. Brigadier General John Jones of Johnson's division doesn't arrive till 4. Stewart doesn't arrive till 4. General Walker doesn't arrive till 4:20. Actually, they don't arrive till 4:20. 4:40 is his artillery, followed by them, followed by the Second Corps reserve artillery. McClure, unlike my previous series of Gettysburg, when McClure's arrives at 6 p.m, I'll probably zoom him down the highway. I'll zoom him down the Chambersburg Pike for about 4 hours, maybe, from when he arrives. Because again, what time does he arrive? It was 6 p.m. Yes, 6 p.m. So from 6 p.m, I'll have, if we look at the parameter data, dusk is at 7, so I'll have about an hour to zoom him down the road before it becomes dusk, and then we got an hour of twilight. So I got to about 8 o'clock, give or take, to zoom him down the Chambersburg Pike to get into somewhat of a useful position for day 2. Hood is a little harder to do because Hood doesn't arrive until 10 p.m. when it's pretty much already dark. So the next best thing would be to perhaps zoom Hood as far as maybe onto maybe around Marsh Creek before the end of the day, and then I can use the rest of the day to maneuver him into a position. So, we shall see, however. Strictly speaking, however, if we're looking for, if he takes the quote historical defensive positions, which I don't see any reason why he won't, it's a damn strong position. So I don't see why he won't take that position. I, for one, don't want to attack over Wolf Hill because it is just nasty. It's a nasty hill. Just broken up, uneven beyond all belief. While I can easily attack across it, it's just a case of questionable. So, which will leave me umming and ahhing about what to do. Brenner's Hill. Benner's Hill I will probably take advantage of because, well, if we look, because we don't have limited fog of war on, Benner's Hill can actually see a good chunk of the line. Of course, naturally, Cemetery Hill and Culp's Hill can see a hell of a lot of terrain. There's Ziegler's Grove. That is going to be probably one of the toughest parts to actually take. There's the clump of trees. Where is... There's the Kadori farm. We shall see, however. It's still hazy at the moment, but following that, we still got time to get into position and everything. The big question is, what is his cavalry going to be doing? Is he going to be, say, holding along Hare Ridge? Is he going to be advancing as far as Marsh Creek to slow me down? Is he falling back? I just don't know. And without Stuart, it's impossible to know. So for now, I thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. But until next time, I know these early episodes are short, as they are just lots of marching to contact. Lots of marching, lots of waiting. So, but I appreciate your patience, and I will see you all next time. So until then, bye-bye for now.